The late Raymond Burr was a great actor, best known for Perry Mason, for Ironside TV shows, and also for playing villains in movies like Rear Window. Um, he could do bad guys, he could do good guys. He was a great actor. Um, did a kind of pitiful character in a movie called Please Murder Me, and which was said to be a kind of dress rehearsal for Perry Mason, where he played opposite Angela Lansbury as a attorney who basically gets himself murdered. Anyway, um, one thing he's also known for was his very elaborate lies that he told about his own life. Now, I don't want to smear this man too much because nobody was hurt by these lies, but they were very elaborate and very romanticizing and kind of sob stories or lies. He had two marriages that never existed, which left him a widower twice. One time, one of the non existent wives um, was killed in a plane crash. Another non existent wife died of cancer. One of them made him a dad to a boy who died of leukemia when he was 10 years old. And Raymond Burr said he spent the last year of his poor doomed son's life traveling to the United States with the boy so he could see the beauty of the country before he passed away. Okay, now the way these lies are usually explained is that he didn't want people to know he was homosexual. So he concocted elaborate heterosexual stories to cover up the fact that he was homosexual. The problem with that is that these are too elaborate. These are too romanticizing, and these are too heartbreaking. Were in his day a lot of homosexual actors, and the story they often would say they would often get into fake marriages, or they would say they hadn't met the right girl, or they would, you know, go on studio arranged dates and that sort of thing. His lies were quite unnecessary for just bearding purposes. These were very romanticizing sort of lies. And I think there was a lot more to it than just trying to cover up the fact that he was homosexual. I think he wanted to have a very romantic, heartbreaking sort of life because he wanted to romanticize himself. He wanted to, and I think maybe there was a bit of a writer inside of him, a bit of a writer that never kind of got out, that was kind of subsumed by the actor. And so he talked these, you know, melodramas instead of putting them down on paper. And so so I think it was, and I think he wanted to be a romantic figure and maybe a kind of dashing and heroic figure, and even a kind of martyred figure. And that might also relate not so much to the fact that he was to his sexual orientation as to the fact that his weight struggle. He'd always struggled with his weight during his life, and when you struggle with your weight, as I have done, you always kind of have a sense of being kind of a clown, kind of a somebody to be laughed at. And, you know, so therefore that might give you a desire to want to be somebody that people cry for, or people, you know, admire because of your resiliency and your courage. And so these are just some of my thoughts about Raymond Burr and the stories that he told, which I don't think can be explained just as bearding. They were too elaborate and too romanticized for that. And I hope you like hearing that.